Hi guys, thanks very much for taking the time out to catch up with us.
You're welcome.
I'm really looking forward to it. You two are at the top of your game, big names in comedy. What's the best thing about being a stand-up?
Money. See. Lions.
A lot of that.
When did you first realise you were funny guys, you were funny people?
In the womb. I was born in November 1980. It was probably about June 1980, after the 20-week scan. And I just thought, I'm a funny guy. I'm getting big laughs in the labour ward. So I've been doing stand-up professionally since I was about 3 months old.
Same. Same answer from me.
And you two are both friends outside of comedy, right?
No.
No? Oh, you're good actors then?
Yeah.
Do you think it helps trying to convince the audience that you're friends with each other?
I think it probably would help if we were friends, but unfortunately we haven't spoken outside of the show since 2006. We have never ever...
That's before the show started?
Yeah, we've never spoken during a track.
And if you'd seen some of the things I posted through the letterbox of his home address, you would realise how deep-seated the resentment was.
How do you prepare for a gig? What sort of time do you have to get to a venue?
I like to get there the day before. Elis likes to get there during.
Yeah, I've often done gigs from the car. What I will do is I will drive past the venue as the show is happening and I will phone it in, and then I'm already turning around on the way back to my house before my set has ended.
What's the best venue that you played?
I gave a speech outside Wembley.
Did you really?
Yeah, I don't know if that counts. I mean, there's no one there.
About what?
I was just shouting.
What's it like if it doesn't go well? Have you ever died on stage?
Elis?
Yes. Numerous times. So many times.
I actually died here at the store.
What do you do?
On a live TV, not live TV, a TV record.
One of the things that you guys are known for is being very grounded. You're seen as the everyman in comedy. How do you...
I'm not an everyman. Elis is an everyman. I'm unique.
Well, how do you think Elis stays grounded?
He has no ambition.
I'm often very tired.
Yeah, he has very little on his mind. Not a great deal of talent to speak of, but he's made the best with what he's got.
Yeah. I have taken the very limited talent I have as far as it will go.
Is there anything you can do if you don't get a laugh? Is there any way you can move on?
You can retire or continue pursue with it.
I mean, you can improve, but certainly on the night, you've just got to take the brickbats and catcalls that are coming your way.
Elis, how do you tell the perfect anecdote?
I don't know. Never have done.
Just keep repeating it until it's perfected.
I have 2 anecdotes which I tell on rotation. I am told that they need a beginning, a middle and an end. I've certainly never achieved the end.
They've all got a beginning now, haven't they?
Yeah, I tend to speak until I trail off or I'm cut off.
What would you do if comedy hadn't worked out? Have you got any other plans?
Booze Island of Sainsbury's. Ideally 24 hours.
Just visiting?
No, overseeing, restocking, advising, sampling, getting, discounting, offing. That's actually, I mean, I'd be just as happy doing that.
I'd have a big lie down underneath the pier in Aberystwyth and get washed out to the sea.
Didn't you want to have a little newsagent or something? What was your small fantasy?
I would quite like to run a bookshop or a record shop.
Is there anything left in comedy to do? What's the next goal?
Get good. I'd love to have a successful gig.
I think for me, next step, either Oscar or Nobel. Those are the 2 big ones for me.
Yeah. Reading is what I'm going for.
John won the Edinburgh Comedy Award.
That's true.
Recently.
Yeah.
How do you think he did it?
The cynical inclusion of emotional heft into his show. Thankfully, he had heartbreak to talk about, because otherwise it'd have been the same old tired observations. But
Guys, you're on.
Oh, great. Hello to you. Hello there, what an extraordinary treat to be here. Thank you so much for coming. I'm not used to being this physically close to Elis during the show.
he doesn't usually allow it.
Yeah, so I do apologise if I begin to retch mid-broadcast. So that's okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not used to this seat either. Oh, that's better. I like to sit a lot higher than everyone else in the studio to assert my authority.
Yeah.
These mics don't go up very high, do they?
No, but they're very directional, so you need to do this. So we'll be broadcasting, staring at the audience, and not acknowledging each other at all. How high are you now?
What?
You look how high you are.
Here we go. Oh, it's a squeeze. Isn't it a
It
squeeze?
is. Hang on.
You've made an effort, Ellis.
Well, I think we should discuss this on air. Let's save it for the show.
The jumper that you use for...
Let's save it for
Anyway.
the show, John.
There's something... What are they... Oh, right, so that's live. Huh.
We're not live
but-
now, are we?
No, I'm hearing both what's playing on air and the audience, so it sounded like people were applauding a payday loan advert. You what? You what? Well, it's stopped now. We don't usually need Vin, but we thought he'd give him a day out of the office. Oh, it's back on. They're talking about us.
What? Who is?
The breathy lady.
Oh yeah.
250 shows. Live vibes direct from the Comedy Store. Oh. Oh, there it is. Isn't that clever? Right, Ellis, you've got... Do we stop that now?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is John. Next, Alison and I will be coming live from London's Comedy Store. Then, when the lights go up and we're ready to enter the stage, to see our awaiting public. So, stick with us for a Radio X first, if you discount when they did it with Chris Moyles and various times with Johnny Vaughan.
Ellis, you need to do that.
Yes. Sorry, I'm slightly confused. Okay. I don't need that on.
No.
Righto. Very importantly, before we get cracking, fire exits. Yeah.
I mean, just given that Ellis is in charge of this, you're all going to die.
Yeah. The advice is just to panic, because people make their best decisions when they're panicking.
Yeah. If you are strong, you will survive.
Yeah, adrenaline is your friend. There are fire exits broadly there.
No, they're not there. Fucking hell. There's a fire exit there, there's one there, and there's one there.
Yeah.
There are none
Yes.
there. It's the one place there are none.
Yes.
But if everyone could leave in an orderly
Yeah,
fashion...
sorry, I was pointing at the cloakroom. Sorry.
And please...
Oh, by the way, if the whole place goes up, get your coats, because you might have your wallet, your
And it's
keys...
cold outside.
And it's cold outside.
if it's below an iPhone 6, leave it. Could we please ask for you to have your phones on silent? That's very important. Pretend it's the snooker. That's what I do. You may take photos, but no flash. I think that's broadly because from a distance of more than 2 metres, it's ineffective. That's more an aesthetic judgment, because we want you to have good pictures. The bar closes during the show, but it opens in an interval that we'll be having at some point in an hour or so. There are toilets there for men, there for ladies. At the end... Oh, stay in your seats after the very end. And if you... Sorry. They've got quite a lot of Pret backstage. If you do need the loo during the show, don't worry. We're not going to suddenly interrupt a riff to make fun of you.
Yeah. People need to go.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Though if it's a sort of a 2 or 3 alarm wee, maybe leave until you hit the 4 or 5 alarm level, especially if you're in the middle of a row. But
Or just wait for blossoms.
yeah, wait for blossoms. Or just do it in a cup. That's what I do.
Yeah. But don't throw it at us. It's not a...
It's not an Oasis gig. No. Right, so we got one more song after this. Are you going to be here, Vin? Okay.
Thanks. Vin's psyching himself up at the back. He's going to come on like he's going to do a ring walk like Anthony Joshua. Or George Groves, he's going to come on in a sort of double-decker Route Master bus. So that's just a reference for people who like the boxer George Groves.
Do you know, I watched a video of all Mike Tyson's knockouts the other day. He was very...
Merry Christmas!
He's very good, wasn't he, at boxing?
Yeah, he was. He was
awful
good
at everything else.
Yeah.
Do you want to pop that mic down so I can see Ed?
What, this one?
Yeah. Hello, mate.
Oh, hiya, Barry.
Let's get to the Royal Box when we're live, Elis. Some friends, future... No, not future. Past and present.
Not past. They're all our friends.
Yeah, they're not...
We're not pursuing a vendetta with this show.
No, their friendship is secure.
Yeah.
But they're not future friends. No. Well, they are, but we're friends now. It's not like I'm going to start liking you in like 10 years or something. Ooh. What song? Is this a Christmas song? Who's that?
It's Bruce Springsteen, is it? On Radio X? Invited to that meeting.
Did they... Is this Bruce Springsteen?
Yeah. Is it?
Huh. It's quite... Because usually we've got numerous things to log into and sort of, BBC Sports website to check. So I'm just not quite sure what to do with my hands.
Yeah, I'm just going to do that.
Okay.
Then I might start a fire and then we'll see how prepped we all are.
So when we finally go live, obviously don't effing Jeff at all. Like if a rogue element had got in somehow and were trying to disrupt the broadcast with an F or a Jeff, don't do that. But when I point to you, so I'll do the intro as usual, I'll point to you and you can make lots of noise and cheer, and that would be great. Otherwise people might think we were lying.
Yes. Yeah, we don't want to broadcast a pin drop silence. But we don't want you to call us the C word halfway through. Humble brag of the week.
What was that? What was the great joke? It's producer Vin! Yeah. We have 2.5 minutes. Oh, cool. We've got a little... So that we can...
So we're coming out of spring. Is that Genesis, is it? Okay, yeah. Great.
I don't think I'm going to understand that.
Oh, tick God. Next to Mumford and Sons, because that's
Spoiler
what we're playing
alert.
next. Spoiler alert! As if anyone's going to be gutted. Oh, hate knowing what's coming up on Radio X's playlists. For any people like that, Roll Blood, Radiohead, Sam Fender, Alt J, Oasis, Oasis. Liam Noel, Liam.
Christmas Lights by Coldplay. Turns out on Twitter, a lot of people like Coldplay. A lot of people get offended about things they maybe didn't ought to get offended by. I don't know, I did that in the voice of actually a white American. Minute left, mate. 70 seconds left. Ho, 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 ho.
Now's the time to get nervous, yeah?
That's a bit of fun. Is this Bruce Springsteen?
It's the one we played.
Is it a song about a guy who works in a bells factory? And he's got a 68 Chevy and eats oil. In when?
30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's that? good old Bruce Springsteen there with Santa Claus is Coming to Town. You're listening to Radio X. To my left is Elis James, and to my front, Oneers, Retro Oneers, Panini Oneers, Zigzaggers, Widdicombe Defectors, Live Vibe Tasters, approximately 398 copper-bottomed Hammer Legend, as we broadcast live from London's Comedy Store. The room is packed to the rafters. It's Funageddon 2018.
Can I just say, John, it is an absolute pleasure to broadcast live from a comedy venue that has steadfastly refused to book me for 14 years now. Been doing stand-up since 2005. I've played all the big gigs. I've done gigs in Australia, New Zealand, Wales. And they are not interested, John, but I am absolutely fine with that.
You know, so for the benefit of the listeners, Elis is making obscene gestures.
Yeah. Two of the worst ones.
You know, but Don's in tonight. He's watching. This is your big audition.
This is the big one.
If this goes well,
oh God.
If this goes well, Elis, you may be asked to do 8 unpaid open spots here.
But, John, I don't need it because I'm in the voiceover game now. You're
true.
talking to the man who did the voiceover for BBC 4's The Secret Life of Farmyard Animals. I'm happier doing that. I think it's more fulfilling. Ep 1 pigs, Ep 2 cows, Ep 3 lambs and goats. There wasn't enough footage for a whole episode each.
I thought your girlfriend was in my Travelodge the other day, but they were just playing a voiceover she'd done for British Gas.
Oh, exactly. She doesn't need this gig either.
No?
Can I just say I'm absolutely fine with it. It's his booking policy, and I often got nervous and I underran during my 25 auditions for this room.
Whereas I was the opposite. I got overconfident and overran.
Did you?
Yeah, I was not asked back after my first 45-minute open spot. So, listeners and legends in the room, this is our 250th show. Who'd have thought that, man?
I mean, they haven't sacked us.
They haven't. They haven't sacked you. They wouldn't sack me.
Well, who do you reckon's the most unproducible?
Out of you and me.
I've just realised how much lower I am in my seat. It's like you're broadcasting to me from... It's like the sort of Sermon to the Mount, but with added commercial digital indie radio.
Well, for those of you at home listening out and about on the go, you'd probably expect people to make an effort in their dress wear for such a celebration as 250 shows. That's 250,000 shows. I am wearing a beautiful crushed velvet Jeff Banks suit from the year 2000.
Yeah. But also, what a little touch I love is that John's wearing a suit, because it's the 250th show, but with trainers. You're listening to Radio X with Elis James and Patrick Kilty. That was his... Patrick Kilty's big look, wasn't it? Him and the Beastie Boys in the video for Sabotage.
Well, you're wearing a jumper that you use to paint shelves in.
Well...
And a pair of, may I say, quite scuffed-up trainers.
Yes, but they're my lucky gig trainers, aren't they? And
Are they? Are these roaming mics, Finn?
They are, yeah.
Oh, great. Sorry, that was the sound of me removing my microphone. So I can show everyone in the room the beautiful double-breasted Jeff Banks.
Double-breasted,
black
Jacob Rees-Mogg style.
Hi there.
Can I just say, John, when you bought that in the year 2000...
I didn't buy it, my mum bought it for my 18th birthday. And this was the... I instructed her which to get. And this is the suit that I wore to my matriculation.
What's that mean?
Joining Oxford.
Right, OK.
My finals.
Ooh, so I almost swore
So
then.
I wore...
So lame.
I wore this in every exam in the height of summer.
But why?
I immediately regretted it in my first exam, which was Shakespeare. But, you know, I'd started it, so I was going to finish it.
Out of interest, John,
yeah.
were you heavier when you were 18? Because I'd say it's a good 2 sizes too big.
But that was the fashion. This was baggy shirts were in just still, which I had a number of two-tone next. You know, where one side it would look blue and the other side it would look slightly different blue.
Was this? I don't know if you.
And he'd be in a nightclub and people would go, who is that sort of shape-shifting chameleon man?
I don't know if this was a big look in Thornbury, but in Carmarthen in 1998, the big look was those shirts, the type of sort of pinstripe sort of school trousers with those shoes with buckles on that make you look like a 16th century Puritan.
Yeah.
That was a big look when I was going out in.
So I haven't worn this jacket since
yesterday.
Since 2004. So this is, I was hoping it would have some sort of early 2000s notes in it or some like cigarette lighters or stuff, but I'd obviously cleared all that out. So there you go. Just someone making a bit of an effort.
Yeah.
Whacked on a tie and a shirt as well.
You look absolutely, I mean, couldn't be bothered to whack on a proper pair of shoes.
On,
That's absolutely fine.
I couldn't bring both. Also, it's very sweaty. Velvet's not known for its breathability. So, guys... Oh, just popping my mic back in there. That wasn't a gust. Coming up over the show, so it's sort of a regular show, but with extra bits of fun. We have got people live in the room. They're not allowed to leave.
No.
I mean, you're allowed to turn off if you want, but I wouldn't recommend it, because coming up, we've got... Shamewell, we've got live Shamewells, we've got a quiz, we've got tastes, we've got humble brags, we've got all the regular features, and I dare say some sort of riffing.
And also some great music from Radiohead and Sam Fender, but now it's time to listen to Mumford & Sons.
So it's just...
So they're live in the room.
These are live in the room, but not on air?
Yeah,
all right,
great.
Oh.
Come back after Mumford's.
I'm just going to pop... I just need to get something out of the dressing room. Can I use that door?
Change of clothes.
No, I'm just going to put on another velvet suit. By the end of the show, I'll be wearing 10 velvet suits.
Sons, you're listening to Elis James and John Robbins on Radio X, live from London's Comedy Store. Very, very exciting stuff. It's our 250th show, so it's a special one. We've got some cracking features lined up. We're going to be doing a Shamewell. There'll be Humble Brag of the Week, some great tunes from Radiohead, Sam Fender, and one of whom is in the room, Alt J. Gus from Alt J is here somewhere. Where are you, Gus? Oh, so also we've got a very...
Where's the Gusmeister General?
There he is.
Hello,
There he
mate.
is! An actual pop star in the room.
Celebs.
Top
Gus.
celebs everywhere.
Gus, mate. What are we talking tax-wise? I'm sure have you got your own company and your own production company?
I've got a few companies.
A few companies, yeah.
Have you got your own guitar?
You don't have any guitars?
I'm a keyboardist.
You're a keyboardist? Good. And do you not have one for display purposes? Good. Not everyone needs a guitar, do they?
No, I actually think
Keyboard
guitars
players,
are
for example.
sad.
Yeah. Have you got one of those keyboard guitars?
Guitar.
Hoping for one for Christmas. Oh, there you go. That's what the celebs want for Christmas, guys.
Yeah. Fingers crossed he's listening. And you've been good. God, I'm pathetic.
No, you're not. You're a dad,
I am a
mate.
dad. That's how I talk now.
So stay tuned, guys, for more great celebrity chat about what celebs have in their tax arrangements. But we are now music coming up from the aforementioned Alt J and Radiohead and Sam Fender.
Yes,
maybe not one of those.
No, we're definitely playing those three. But the important message is stay tuned to Radio X.
What was that?
So we'll play two. Yeah. Basically, mics are always live in the room. So if you want to tell people we've got two tunes or whatever. And then we'll just talk to people next.
Yep.
Out of Sam Fender into Jay.
Yeah.
Great.
And have a mic up for Gus as well.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So hang on, that one's going where?
So the back, so Gus is in the back.
Okay.
So we've got Gus is there, Ed, Barry, everyone else is down there.
Yeah. So we're out of Radiohead. So oh right, just playing ads here.
In fact, it should come up in a second, it should say Radiohead there. Yeah. So we've got this, then Sam Fender, which is there.
Sam
Then
Fender
you're in.
after the ads.
We're out of ads now.
Oh right.
So you'll hear Radiohead in a minute.
Get my drinks.
I think probably what people who listen to the podcast alone are now realising is just how little work we do. It really is mainly listening to music and playing adverts. And Elis will have about 18 to 19 wheeze during a show. We'll make our cuts. Sometimes we just do our accounts in the studio, don't we? Well, I do, and then I'll help Elis out with his. Sam Fender, that sound! And that sound, ladies and gentlemen, was the sound. It's amazing when you see it happening live, because you think, is this possible? That sound was the sound of circa 398 people live at London's Comedy Store. Elis and I are celebrating the big 250, almost 5 years of persistent broadcasting. And in the room to help us celebrate, we've got some friends of the show. So, Vin, you hold the mic and introduce them and tell us. So we've got a little sort of royal box here. So first up...
Who would you like first?
Well, you, in what order you see fit?
I'm going to go for Comedy's Ed Gamble.
Comedy's Ed Gamble! The dire beast himself.
Burden to the NHS, Ed Gamble.
That's a good point. Have you ever worked out how much you've made off the state? Right?
You're definitely up, aren't you?
You know what? I'm saving that for this Christmas.
How much does it cost to keep you alive? I'm not saying it's not worth it.
No.
It's not something I've looked into, but hundreds of thousands, I'd imagine.
Wow.
Worth every penny, mate.
Worth every penny.
I mean, your tweets alone. As well as some of the great comedy.
I actually get extra insulin because they've seen my tweet.
You had a bit of a scrape last night, didn't you? You were the victim of a cybercrime.
It wasn't a cybercrime, it was a physical crime. They stole my phone.
Oh, right.
From his
that's
pocket.
cybercrime,
Yeah, I'm stolen his identity.
Download my phone from my pocket.
You probably can these days. Thank you very much for coming along, Ed. Who's next in the royal box?
We've also got journalism's Barry Glendenning.
Glendo.
Talk to me, Barry. Talk to me.
Good afternoon, Elis.
This is your other wife.
Yes, he's my favourite.
Glendo, how many pints have you had so far?
Just the two. But it's early doors. Radio X, obviously, rock and roll is your brief, but closing the bar during the show is not very rock and roll at all.
Wow.
Oh, God, we've got a voice of the people on our hands.
I think you aside, Barry, we'd assumed most people could last till 4 p.m. with only 3 pints. But when we first met, when Elis first introduced us, we shook hands and he just stood back and said, "Two of the great pub men."
Yes.
Well, your Radio X overlord wouldn't have their audience believe that there are other radio stations. But I do work on one with Max Rushton every Sunday morning. And it's more sports oriented. And I'm thinking if we had a similar show, a similar event to this, our audience would...
You'd be unconscious.
Our audience would be entirely comprised of sad van drivers. Up to their necks in debt from payday loans. Wondering if they've got PPI coming. It's nice to see such a diverse crowd here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Barry Glendenning.
Shall we meet our next guest?
Let's meet the.
Yeah.
Let's meet the.
Australia's Scott Long.
Oh,
It's Scott Long.
Hello.
So,
hello, Scott.
Scott, it's safe to say to those who maybe have been only listening to the show briefly, this show changed your life.
Yeah, it kind of did. No, it significantly did, really. Yeah, it's changed quite a lot.
Do you want to give us a brief synopsis?
I can. It forced Scott to move to a country that's going through a constitutional crisis. He thought, I want a bit of that.
It's true. I went from one political nightmare to another.
But you moved to this country.
Did, yeah.
You met lots of fans of the show.
Yeah, everyone's been. I mean, PCD's great. Everyone knows that, and a significant amount of my friends have come from this church.
Yeah.
So it's very.
You started working in my favourite pub.
That was not intended, but
Oh.
that's
You've got samples of my DNA. Ellis drove you to Cardiff once.
that was very, very appreciated.
I'll drive anyone to Cardiff. I don't mind.
He's actually employed by the Welsh Tourist Board to pick up hitchhikers. And who is next to you, Scott?
The amazing Jenny Green.
The Jenny Green. And forever to be known as one half of Lisa and Jenny, the Elis John illustrators.
And sad van drivers.
And sad, do you drive a van?
Yeah, we've made a poster for the show today.
Yes, a poster, special anniversary poster has been drawn, and that is available for purchase, all profits from which go to Global's Make Some Noise campaign, and they're signed.
Yes.
Posters.
And also, embarrassingly, we've signed way more than we'll sell.
Yes. And not even half of the ones we ordered.
No.
We ordered 300,000 posters. And so hello to Jenny and Lisa. And at the back of the room is producer Joe with Gus from Alt J. Hello to you, sir.
Who, can I just say, is probably my favourite keyboard player.
Thank you very much.
After Spike Edney.
Beethoven. Did a bit of keyboard.
Gus, so sorry you weren't mic'd up when we chatted to you earlier. We're actually about to play your song, Left Hand Free.
Oh, great song.
What's it about? What's it about?
He only plays with the keyboards with his right hand.
It's kind of about like a fight in a bar.
Is it really?
They closed the bar in this bar and everyone there.
And Barry Glendenning kicked off. And he said, take her with one hand behind me back. Because the other one's holding a pint and I'll beat you in a still win and drink me pint.
At the bar earlier, I asked for a Guinness and he said it's in a can, but don't worry, it tastes exactly the same. I said, don't tell that to any Irish people.
Well, you say that,
Here we go.
Gus.
Some pub science is about to be unveiled.
But due to falling standards in Guinness serving, often canned Guinness will taste better than the Guinness you get in most, shall I say, mainland bars.
It was actually very nice. I've
Yeah.
tasted it already.
Was it one of the ones with a surge
They
plate?
had a little
Ireland is its own mainland because it's its own country.
Well, let's not bring politics into this.
John Finn's doing the timeout.
So, Gus, or shall I call you Alt? Gus, so we're about to play Left Hand Free. What are you, out of interest, what are you getting in PRS per play? I reckon it's about 16 quid, is that right?
I've heard that like daytime radio one's about 30, but obviously I'm on 30% to 33% of that.
You're on 33%, so you get a tenner.
It's about a pint.
Really?
Get him a drink.
That's a good life, isn't it?
No.
You what? Getting paid to sit at home while your music's on the radio?
I thought you meant getting paid in pints. I was
Oh,
like,
no,
sort
no.
of sounds nice initially, and then
it
you
would
realise...
cut out the middleman for me. So right now we're going to give Alt J around £30 by playing.
Completely off there, I'm really not sure.
I think you're in the right ballpark. I think it's 16 to 30.
John would definitely know if he was in a band, but that is why John isn't in a band.
This is Alt J, left hand free.
Back after this, I think.
Yeah, and this is a make some noise plug.
Yes.
Okay.
And when's the bar opening?
Just after 2.
Okay.
We'll announce it. Coming up, so this is into break, this read, after this. Coming up, we're going down the Shamewell. Yep.
Yes.
Oh, do you want to do that right now? Ladies and gentlemen, please can I have your attention? This is an off-air announcement. We would like, at some point during the show, to do a live Shamewell.
Yeah.
So if anyone has a top-level shame anecdote, I'm thinking it's got to be 9 out of 10 or above on the shame scale.
Yeah, we're you know,
To be clean as well.
it's got to be clean. Obviously, as we proved a couple of weeks ago, you can talk about nipples, but in a certain context. So,
But let Joe, how is best for you, Joe, to people make themselves aware?
I'll be at the back of the room, just in that bar, by the bar.
Joe will be by the empty bar, so it's almost like a little shame confession. So if you want to go and give Joe your Shamewell, he will assess its suitability for air, and we might do it live later on. So off you go, Joe!
This in 1 minute. This into ads.
yeah. Win in 50 seconds.
Back live on air in 30 seconds.
We are live in 30 seconds.
I'll take it. Left Hand Free there by Alt J, a song that includes some of my favourite keyboards in the history of recorded music. You're listening to Elis James and John Robbins on Radio X, live from London's Comedy Store. It's our 250th show, and it's supporting Radio X's charity Make Some Noise, which is an incredible charity helping smaller charities that don't always get heard. So if you want to donate £5, text GIVE5, that's GIVE 5.
The number 5.
The number 5, that's right.
So it's Golf India Victor Echo 5.
Yeah. On this page, it looks a bit like gives. Please don't text gives.
No.
That you're just wasting your own time and money. To donate £5, text give 5 to 70766. To donate £10, text give 10. It makes perfect sense, doesn't it? To 70766.
Vin, out of interest, does that work for any amount, or is it just 5 and 10?
Just 5 or 10.
Okay. What if you want
We
to...
can do like 8.3 or something like that.
850. Couldn't do
No,
750.
we'll have to.
Okay. I'll send a
Good to
check.
ask, though. It's good to be clear about this.
100% of your donation will go to Global's Make Some Noise. It's 16 and over only. The donation line closes at 11 o'clock on the 31st of December 2018. Standard network charges apply, and T's and C's are at makesomenoise.com.
Very well done, may I say.
Yeah, I think I'm getting slicker. Only 5 years in.
Only 5 years in, man. So coming up, yeah.
I'm getting slicker.
Yeah.
I love that camp noise. What caused your camp noise?
Because I thought the thing that we're doing next wasn't next.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Slick
a little bit
radio
of an insight there.
This is going really well, isn't it?
It's going quite well.
This stuff, if you don't listen live and only listen to the podcast, this bit never makes the podcast.
No, we're actually much worse than you'd think. So, guys, those numbers again, give 5 to 70766 and give 10 to 70766 to donate to Global's Make Some Noise. Coming up, we have got music from Queens of the Stone Age, Band-Aid.
Yeah, they know it's Christmas, John?
Slick this.
Oh, here we go.
We've had an email from James in Yeovil that says, Dear Legends, do you know why Freddie Mercury isn't on Band-Aid? Unfair that Sting gets to sing his own name, but Freddie Mercury doesn't get a go. Great email, James. My job is basically the role of now is just a Queen sort of trivia arbiter. The reason Freddie isn't on Live Aid is because Queen were very late entrants to the Live Aid party. Band-Aid, the reason on Band-Aid. So they'd already recorded it first, and if you look at the end of Live Aid, then they'll come on stage. It's clear that Freddie doesn't know the lyrics.
I was an usher at a wedding once, and I was a very, very late usher.
There will be a connection, don't worry.
Yeah. No, but at the end, the groom came up to me and he went, "Brilliant work today. I've got to be honest, you weren't my first choice, but I was let down by 5 or 6 people."
Good.
So there you have it.
So thanks for your email, James. Also, excellent T-shirt. I'm probably the only person that knows what that T-shirt is, but well done. Sorry, I'm just talking to a guy in the front row. I'm gone insane.
Well, do you want to describe it, unless it's rude?
It's a series of coloured circles, which people might just think was a fun pattern, but I know for a fact that is celebrating the anniversary vinyl release of all Queen's studio albums. And each of them is coloured vinyl. And
John is ill!
So stick with us for more illustrations of that terrible illness. Queens of the Stone Age. The lost art of keeping a secret. You're listening to Radio X. It's the 250th show of Elis, James and John Robbins, and we're coming live from London's Comedy Store. During that track, Barry Glendenning returned from an off-licence with 2 carry bags, one full of Guinness, one full of Strongbow cider. He also got 2 pepperonis because he hasn't eaten yet. In this section, we are going to be discovering, exploring, banishing some live shame in John's Shamewell. Listeners, the well is busier than it's ever been. Some 400 souls packed into a space really only designed for me. I could only apologise about the smell and don't go in that corner. You can't have a corner in a well. Don't go on that section of the circle outline, sort of pie section. And we have with us one of our ranks who is beset with shame. Producer Joe, would you like to introduce our anonymous shamecaster, please?
Yeah, he's on his way to the stage now. Everybody welcome Dave!
Hello to you, sir.
Dave, not his real name.
No. It's been a long time since we've had a Dave on the air. And, so, Dave, not your real name, and also for the purposes of the live audience, we've pixelated out your face. So, Dave...
It's not coleslaw related, is it, Dave?
No. don't hold back, but do bear in mind we are broadcasting to a family audience of Noel Gallagher fans. So they don't mind you. They don't mind you pushing the line, but they don't want you to cross it.
I have been involved in the censoring process at the back, and it was very.
It's not Dave, is it?
Exciting. So a few years ago, I was visiting my girlfriend at the time, who had some family in Ireland, who were very religious, very Catholic.
Great.
Yes. And I'd spent one of the nights trying to convince them that I really like Guinness, which I do, but I don't know if you've ever tried to pretend that you like Guinness to people who think that you don't like Guinness, and you'll sound like me. It's absolutely mortifying. So we'd gone home, everything had gone well, and I get a text from my girlfriend saying, so you might have, you've left something at my parents' house. And I was racking my brains thinking, oh, what have I left? She's like, I think it's fine, but they're sending it in a box. And I was, you know, as you can imagine, feeling absolutely terrified. Anyway, was at hers when the box arrived. That was very exciting. And opened the box, you know, we sort of hovered round it. I looked at the box, opened the box, and there was a pair of green and yellow Guinness underwear.
Dear.
That had been ironed and washed lovingly, and I was like, okay, that's completely mortifying. But you know, we'll get past this. You know, they've seen my underwear, lifted it up, and underneath it was a sex aid.
Whoa. Dear.
Which I've had to make sound radio friendly, but I promise to all the ladies here, she's an ex-girlfriend and I don't have a problem.
So, Dave, just a couple of questions spring immediately to the front of my mind. Was this your romantic
sister?
Your romantic assistant.
I'd say it was both of us.
Okay.
But were you responsible?
How did you get it through customs?
It was less than 100 mil.
Right. Okay.
I bet you were glad there wasn't a hard border. With your own personal plan B.
Right. Let's remember we are broadcasting, so let's.
We're talking
friendly.
milliliters.
Yeah.
Pints.
Okay. No, but we're talking in the liquid realm.
Not tablet form.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to ask you what this is off air, 'cause I'm still not quite sure I know. But
I assumed it was a book until we started talking.
But who was it that brought it into the house? Was it you or your girlfriend?
Me.
Right.
Was it what? Was it a bank holiday?
So what? How long did you see them again?
The girlfriend? Or
No,
the
parents.
Yes, again, we obviously never mentioned it again.
How was it?
It would be the first thing I asked you.
How was it when you met them afterwards, the next time?
To be honest, they grilled me more about the Guinness than that. We were just all too polite.
Thank God for Guinness.
So they really focused on the pants.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. Well, and how do you feel about it now? And how did your ex-girlfriend feel about it at the time?
Fine at the time. She thought it was hilarious because she only sees them every 6 months because they live in Ireland. So she just thought it was amazing. I've thought about it maybe every day.
Right. Can you just remove your microphone, Dave? Just whisper in my ear what it was. Oh, right. Lovely. Good. So, thanks very much for that, Dave.
What a lovely Christmassy story.
What a lovely Christmas story. Thanks, Dave.
I think after that family-friendly shame, well, it's just about right. We play Band-Aids, Do They Know It's Christmas?
Oh, it was lube. All my friends are falling in love. Don't worry, because they might not be. They might have just reached their mid-30s and realised that choice is not an option anymore.
Yeah, it should be. It should be all my friends are about to embark on 5 to 7 year relationships.
All my friends have just given up. Anyway, I think all my friends are in love. Yeah.
Having fallen in
Yeah.
/ fallen out of.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Anyway, who knows?
Yeah, good
Who
song.
knows?
Nice
Good-
song.
nice
It's
song.
a relatable song. Relatable content.
Well, good job, because this next bit of content is not relatable.
No.
What we're going to do now, because we wanted to have as many friends of the show possible with us here today to mark our 250th episode, but unfortunately Ross Middleton, our resident stat man, a.k.a. Statman Ross, could not be here, but he has provided a quiz.
Yes, if you're a long-time listener to the show, you'll know that Ross provided stats on When It Plays On, which was a feature we did at the start. Our tenure here at Radio X, he also did the stats for Beta Bet, which was a feature we did for about 18 months. Those stats shone me in quite a negative light, but you can't massage the figures,
And all of those stats are available as quite sort of probably overly in-depth appendices in our book, The Holy Bible, which is still available for purchase from Amazon.
Very smooth.
Yeah. So we've now got Mastermind music playing, but not in the room. Can we get it in the room? Oh, that's a bit of interest, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, this gives me flashbacks.
Make it tense.
God.
I've just recorded Celebrity Mastermind.
Are you allowed to say that?
I am allowed to say that because I've seen my name mentioned somewhere, so it must be out there. The message is out there. It goes out between Christmas, 28th, I think, of Christmas.
Oh, lovely.
The 28th of Christmas. Oh, dear. Yeah. Christmas the 28th.
I think that's all right. I quite like that.
It's quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah. So, shall we go? And what? This is just to work out who's the best between me and Elis.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I should just say, listeners at home, here endeth the relatable content.
So, question one, Vin.
Are you both ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're starting off with closest to the correct answer.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
How many of the 203 coin tosses have resulted in Queen for Queens? That's the way round, isn't it? Queens for Queen.
Yeah, which is always
many times have
John's.
been queens?
Yeah, which is always John's choice. I always go Tales for Wales, Cynfynnu Gymru.
So I've written down my amount.
There you go.
Elis, you've gone for 120.
Yeah.
I've gone for 127.
Oh my! It's like we're in love.
It's what? Is it 115?
In the game Potato, how many times has the word potato been said? And I can't
Oh my God.
believe you're genuinely counting.
Holy mackerel.
Ross
I'd like your
needs
answer.
an intervention, I think. That must have taken him days.
I'd like your answer first, John.
I'm going to say...
Oh, hang on. No, don't say it.
Wow. Well, that's wrong.
No.
I'm going to say...
No.
You've got to have your first... Okay. I'm going to say 360.
360. You were for 8,000?
No, it didn't.
He's crossed out a zero.
It did look like that initially, but I've gone for 850. Actually, not 8,500, which was something I wrote down for a joke because I'm still, and I know the Comedy Store don't accept this, a comedian.
The correct answer is 566.
Oh, he's only gone and blimmin' done it. Have I?
Well,
no, I don't know. Actually, can't remember.
Yeah,
So your 8,000 answer, so it's a point to John.
Thank you. Cool.
This show is also available as a podcast, fun fact. To the nearest hour, what is the total runtime of that podcast?
Including bonus ones.
No, not including bonus ones.
So 250 podcasts.
Correct.
Oh no, 249.
Yes.
Depending on when he did his quiz. Is it an hour and 10 minutes? Okay.
Elis, your answer first, please.
Oh, come on, mate. I'm doing maths here. 270
It's a good guess.
hours.
It's a very good guess.
I've gone 260.
265.
What happens now? Oh, God.
Point there.
Right.
Okay, it's neck and neck. What percentage of the show, which was show 83...
Is good.
Show 83 was the show when John was late. It's been known as TikTok.
Yeah.
What percentage of that show did John miss?
What percentage of the podcast or percentage of the live show?
I've got it on the page as show.
Okay. I'm going to go for 37%.
I'm going to go for 30%.
24%.
That can't be true. Because I got there after the 11 o'clock.
No, we didn't have you on until after the 11. We allowed you to calm yourself.
Yeah, but he wasn't there. He didn't know that.
Well, me and Ross are friends.
Okay, we're moving on to multiple choice questions.
Oh, yeah. Historically, my trump card.
Which of the following popular phrases was used first? Okay. Are you on email? Keep it session. Jump up and join me on my vibe train.
God. We are adults, by the way.
It's written down. And ales, Jaeger bombs, ales.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. I think I know. I'm going to say keep it session.
I'm going to say ales.
That was my second choice. I just want everyone to know that.
It's are you on email, so no score.
Oh, my gosh, no wonder quizzes work on telly. They are tense, aren't they?
Which of the following anecdotes have been told most often?
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Great question.
That was my problem at a comedy store. People didn't want to hear the same anecdote twice in the same set.
Okay, we've got three options. Option 1, Elis' sister teaching him the dance to retrospective.
Yeah.
Option 2, John seeing members of the band Blink-182 wearing big shorts. Option 3, Elis recounting the phraseology used by ex-E17 member Tony Mortimer and today with Des and Mel.
Well, that's 2, that one. So I'm going to say...
I think what's distorted that one is that I use it on another podcast.
Oh, wow.
Oh, right. I was panicking.
I'm going to say outside chance is actually the Blink-182 when I saw them with big shorts on.
I'm going to say...
well into their 40s.
I'm going to say Rachel Stevens because I don't think people corrected me initially because they were scared.
Rachel Stevens was told twice.
Oh, okay, I'm quite pleased with that.
Blink-182 has been told 4 times.
They'll give the Perrier to anyone these days, won't they?
But there's a difference between telling an anecdote as if you haven't told it and referring back to it. Because we've probably referred to Rachel Stevens more than twice. Okay, fair enough.
That's the end of the quiz, and it is 2.5 each.
Oh!
Thank you, Ross.
Thank you, Ross.
Thank you, Ross.
Statman Ross. So because it was a draw, we both get to play Blue Order. Blue Monday by New Order, or as I call that song and band combination, Blue Order, or New Monday. That's it.
This is New Order with Blue Monday.
Good. Lovely stuff. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
The bar is now open.
The bar is now open. Bit of fun. Hi. Thank you for coming. And a Merry Christmas to you, Madame. Merry Christmas to all of you. Those of you who don't celebrate Christmas, happy December. Enjoy the end of December. Enjoy the quiet streets. There you go. Hi. Hi. Thank God you're here. I've been entertaining everyone for simply hours. Spud gun!
What's happening?
What?
What's happening to you?
I had to talk to people for at least 35 seconds, Elis.
Where's Vin? Oh, Vin, come back, Vin.
Oh, Vin's preparing the taste.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a very, very special taste.
It's actually quite a sexy taste.
It is, and it might have ramifications for the show, actually.
Yes.
It's that sexy.
And thank you also to the person or persons who made us a puberty cake. I mean, who was that? Oh, thank you so much. I mean, it was genuinely terrifying. And we probably might give it to a homeless person. No, we will look at it again, but it's searingly well rendered. What's in it out of interest?
Is it vegan?
Oh,
so it's
thank
just
God
for me
that.
then, that's great. Oh, good, I've got my own puberty cake.
It's a Christmas cake. Lemon drizzle.
Lemon drizzle. Out of interest, has anyone who doesn't listen to the show, has anyone else seen it? A first timer. So because no, sorry, I meant to the person who made the cake. Like, have you got like flatmates who don't listen who are wondering what you were doing, icing the word puberty onto a lemon drizzle cake? Sing along, everybody. You know the words.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Just the Tonic Nottingham. It's a Friday night. Students are in. It's £2 a pint. And appearing for £90, check to follow, will be John Robbins.
A terrified John Robbins.
He's the guy you saw calling the police about the disturbance outside. And we will not be chucking out the group of squaddies, despite repeated requests from John. What the hell is that? I think you have put too much in, mate. You are listening to Radio X's Elis James and John Robbins, live from London's Comedy Store. I'd like to say it's a Radio X first, but it's actually a Radio X eighth, the eighth time that shows have come live from audiences, but we're having a great time here. It's very festive at the Comedy Store, wonderful room. Some people are wearing festive jumpers, others just nude, just enjoying the safe space. And it is now time to tick off a taste.
And appearing tonight on
Tick off a taste, 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 tick off a taste.
That's right, guys. If you haven't listened to the show before, this is probably the lowest rent bit. We get a lot of taste sent to us. I was just telling the audience during Rolling Stones that someone made us a puberty cake. That was disturbing. But that's backstage now. Thank you very much to the kind person who did that.
I should just add, it was a cake with the word puberty iced on the top. It's not a cake that's going to kickstart puberty.
You never know. Well, I think our taste this week might kickstart it for you, Elis. Vin, talk us through the taste.
Well, normally people send in the tastes.
Yeah.
But this is something genuinely I found lying around the office.
Right.
Which is kind of worrying. It's called Testo7, all-in-one synergy.
Right.
It's testosterone.
I, for one, cannot wait.
Can I have a look at the packet, please?
It's a blend of minerals, vitamins, and an amino acid. And it's sort of bright pink, isn't it?
Is this gonna kickstart my low sex drive?
I'm just going to show the Testo7 testosterone drink to the audience. It looks like liquefied Angel Delight. And I cannot wait to drink some testosterone.
How much did you put in?
Oh, definitely more than advised.
Because the dose is 7 grams for men and 4.5 grams for women.
I
don't know why there's a difference there. Maybe women need less zinc aspartate.
It sounds healthy, John. I cannot. Muscles I'm going to have for the third hour of the show. I'm really, really, really looking forward to
it reduces tiredness and fatigue and maintains testosterone levels.
I can't wait to grow a beard during the Jamie T song.
What if we just become overcome with lust and start snogging each other?
Well, as long as we snog near the mic, it could make passable radio.
Okay.
Let's tick off.
Let's tick it.
Down the hatch.
John's going. Ellis is going.
Do you know what? It actually tastes. It tastes like quite a nice fizzy drink, but flat.
Oh, yeah, but what it's done to my more lively parts. There are parts of me that feel so lively.
I think I've just conceived a child on my own. like in Jurassic Park, nature has found a way.
You've conceived a child and the genes of the mother.
But the child is a dinosaur. Wow, it's sort of tangy. It's a familiar flavour.
I would advise you not to take a
I
second
could get addicted to this because finally I feel as angry as all the other men.
Are you an edgy comic now?
I am, yeah. Wait, you wait till I start talking about freedom of speech. Then you'll know how much testosterone I've got. Oh, God, yeah, my triceps and biceps have grown, definitely.
Oh, I've got a pain in my right temple. That's not a good thing.
How's my beard looking?
Considerably virulent.
Yeah.
It looks like it's joining up with your pubes. And to celebrate that meeting of the minds, we have friend of the show and George Ezra's brother, fun fact, it's 10 tons with Better Than Me. Leave before the lights come on. Arctic Monkeys, you are listening to Radio X live at the Comedy Store. It's our 250th show here, Ellis and I, and over the shows, many features have come and gone. Some loved, some not so loved. And recently, it's fair to say that the tide of public opinion has turned against Potato Potato. A game, it turns out, some people find annoying, unfathomable, or just plain boring. So it is with regret that You've got to listen to a democracy. It's what's brought you Brexit. We will be retiring Potato Potato. Alas, it is no more.
I wonder if the reaction had been the same if they hadn't opened the bar. This sounds like drunk people. It doesn't sound like Potato Potato fans.
And in order to satisfy those naysayers, those anti-potatists, Potato Potato is to be replaced with a brand new section of the show, a 62-part retrospective look back at some of our favourite potato potatoes. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce the first ever Potato Potato Years.
To another edition of the Potato Potato Years. Tonight, once again, we're heading back in time. A heat wave gripped the nation. Theresa May demanded Brexit loans at airports. Dua Lipa was at the top of the charts. And Meghan Markle turned 37. Let's head back to August 2018. Potato Potato is about to get serious. John Robbins may have been enjoying a long spell of success in the game, but new challenges awaited just around the corner. Rival Elis John was poised for another bite at the title.
OK, folks, this week on the Potato Potato Years, we're looking back to the 4th of August 2018. It was a classic week in Potato Potato. Ellis, what are your memories of the time?
Well, obviously, it was August 2018, and I think we can all agree Potato Potato came home.
Potato Potato did indeed come home. It was a momentous time, not just in Potato Potato, but in UK politics. As you'll remember, the England's Local Government Association reported that approximately 2/3 of plastic objects which reach recycling facilities cannot be recycled. What a tense time it was in local government associations.
I think that was reflected in the game.
It absolutely was. You could tell it was on our minds. Also, people will remember it was National Architect Day.
Yes, and it was very, very hot.
Yes, and it was a big day in sport outside of Potato Potato as well, because it was the day which Conor McGregor's fight with Khabib Nurmagomedov had been officially announced. So we're now going to take you back down those long vista of, let's be honest, weeks, to August the 4th, 2018, and a classic Potato Potato.
Potato. Potato. Potato. Potato. Potato. Potato. Potato. Potato. Bird's eye.
I enjoyed that a lot.
What I love about this feature is that it allows us to have our cake and eat it.
Yeah. But I remember that game vividly because it started at pace.
Yeah.
The early days of the sort of relaxed potato, playing the long ball.
Parking the potato.
Parking the potato. Had given way to the immediate tiki-taka.
Yeah.
Because that's when we started training 3 days a week. And I'm not saying you weren't taking it seriously enough, but my nutritionist certainly made a difference.
Yes, the way you replaced Guinness with broccoli, really, really. It's part of the Arsene Wenger revolution for potato.
Yeah, so let's just hear that clip again, if we can.
Potato.
Yeah.
Potato. Potato. Bird's eye.
Oh, wow. It's just...
I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah.
It's Gagan potato.
It's Gagan potato.
It's heavy press.
So let's now, because obviously it seemed pretty clear in the room. I think everyone remembers at the time that there was no need for VAR. There was no need for a potato review. But let's hear that very memorable. Let's hear that game just one more time.
Potato.
Yeah.
Potato. Bird's eye.
There we go. And a lot of people... The potato naysayers, so glad it's finally been retired. But so can we now move on to hear that unanimous decision?
I think I did unsettle you.
Well, you unsettled me into beating your behind at potato.
All right, you're Roger Federer. You're difficult to beat.
Oh, I am Roger Federer.
But both of you played with such incredible pace. It was a clash of titans.
I'm light-headed.
There you go. An insight into the physical effects of Gagan potato there. And, just the reaction in the room, I remember you were very woozy for the next couple of links.
Yeah.
Joe was very pleased, because he knew he'd got a classic on his hands.
Yes. I think it's very, very, very telling that neither of us were nominated for Sports Personality of the Year. Yeah. I think there's some structural problem with potato at the BBC.
Absolutely. So... Guys, there's going to be another potato years next week. As we look back at another classic
it's a
game.
second referendum.
And we've got another made-up game on its way here, but first, it's the Manics. That was James there with Sit Down. Unfortunately, the little timer we've got on our computer here is stuck at 1:08.
Yeah.
So apologies for a little bit of fun atmosphere-filled hubbub.
Because we thought it was fit for everyone at home, or maybe listening in the car, to feel what it's like at the Comedy Store.
Soak up a bit of that world-renowned vibe. Guys, it's now time for a made-up game. Don't mind that.
With my family and friends, my game is really, really cool. Darren changed the rules. Come. Made up games.
So that's what it's like to be in a band.
What a moment.
I feel like Gus from Alt J.
With his keyboard. Guys, we are about to play a made-up game that I have made up. It's quite an insulting, insensitive game, but it's a game I wanted to make use of the people we have here today to play this game. So it's going to be called Guess the Age.
Incredibly, in a John Robbins first, it's not Queen-based.
That's true. So basically, what we need, we're going to guess 3 ages of people in the audience. Obviously, you have to volunteer for this. We're not going to guess anyone's age who wants to remain age anonymous.
No.
So if you could put up your hand, if you're willing, there we go, to have your age guessed. So first off, Joe, could you go to this gentleman here with the tattooed forearm, please? So the way this is going to work is we're first, both of us are going to write down that. You can say your name. Adam. Nice to meet you, Adam. So without any more information from you, Adam, other than your muscular, beautiful good looks, we're going to guess your age. Now, if neither of us get it right, we each are able to ask a subsidiary question and make another guess. Okay? So I'm going to have a good old look at you, Adam.
Oh, God.
You've got a tattoo sleeve on your left forearm, yet to save up for the right. You've got a fashionable pair of, I'm guessing, sort of River Island distressed jeans. Is it River Island? Yeah, there we go.
Well, that's a made-up game for next week.
Adam, can we ask you to stand, please, so the people in the room can see you?
Good idea. Oh, wow. Adam is now much sort of more stronger than I imagined.
I mean, as a subsidiary game, we could guess what you can bench press. Oh, what a lovely hard body.
Okay, John, let's have a guess.
Okay, so I am going to guess, Adam, that you are... Okay, I've written it down. Have you written yours down?
Yeah.
I've written 34. Ellis.
I've gone for. Oh, please! I've gone for 36.
Now,
because no one in their 20s is that strong.
Either of those right?
Neither of them are right.
Okay, he looks quite angry now.
Yeah.
And
okay.
I think I'm beginning to see the flaw in the game.
Yeah.
So we can each now ask you a subsidiary question.
What year was I born?
No. But sort of general life questions. So, Adam, do you remember Italia 90?
Yes, very much, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, dear. I mean, tattoos have really changed over the last sort of 10 to 12 years or so. Have you ever been in the Merchant Navy? Right, okay.
Okay.
Let's have your guess first, please.
Oh, God. I'm going to go 39.
I've written exactly the same number.
Okay. Adam.
Yeah, you reveal how old you are now. 43.
So, I mean, now it looks like this was all an elaborate ruse to get off with you.
You do. One thing I was going to say, Adam, is that though you're obviously very stacked, very fashionable, you do have a slight sort of
Leave it, John. Okay, leave it, John.
Your skin looks like you've maybe worked in a vineyard in South Africa. Anyway, so thank you very much, Adam. So that's half a point. Okay. There's no score or half it. So the lady holding an empty pint glass in the air there, Vin. Okay, so what's your name, madam?
Rachel.
Rachel. Could you stand up, please, Rachel? God, this sounds like radio in the 80s. Assessing women live. Rachel, lovely stuff. Hello to you, Rachel.
Do you want to come closer? Hello.
Yeah, that's better.
There you go.
Okay. It's the...
Or just, but no closer.
You're listening to Radio 1 Live from Torquay. It's 1988.
The lovely Rachel, wearing a very nice sort of not pinstripe, because the pins are as wide as the stripes. Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. Stripy top.
Stripes.
Thank you. Stripy top with flowers on.
My problem with guessing the ages of women is that all women aged between 16 and 60 look the same.
I'm not sure I agree with that.
I'm very uncomfortable. Once they're past 16 and under the age of 60, then I just think, oh, God, in the middle.
Right, Ellis, write down an age. I've got an age.
Christmas Day.
Now, Rachel, I think you are 31.
Oh, that's exactly what I guessed.
Is either of us correct?
No.
Okay. Subsidiary questions.
Do you remember Italian 90?
I don't know what that is.
Possibly football.
Okay. Rachel, do you remember the Spice Girls the first time around?
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Okay. Could be.
Okay. I'm ready to reveal my guess.
I have got a...
Okay.
I've got a guess.
Are you 29?
No.
Are you 32?
No.
Rachel, could you please reveal your age?
33.
No score. Okay.
Why are we applauding her for being 33?
Because it's an achievement. The lady with the glasses next to the pillar.
Oh, stop choosing ladies, John.
The Bar Humbug T-shirt on. Okay, madam, you're wearing a Bar Humbug T-shirt.
Do you remember Dickens the first time round?
Okay, John, let's make a guess, please.
What's your name, madam? Laura. Laura, are you 33?
No.
Okay.
Oh, the light's getting in my way. Are you 36?
Okay.
Oh, God.
Laura.
I've asked my question.
Laura, do you remember the death of Freddie Mercury? Okay. Lorna, sorry, Lorna. Sorry, Lorna. Okay. Ellis, next guess, please.
I'm going to go with 39.
I've gone 38.
35.
Oh! We were two sides of the same different coin. So,
Is that no scores?
no scores in that game. Who'd have thought that game would be a complete disaster, but quite
What
fun.
do you want to listen to then?
I would like to listen to Queen's Thank God It's Christmas.
Shall we take a poll in the room?
Do we want to listen to post-punk classic Christmas Wrapping by the Waitresses?
Which is the sort of sister piece to Christmas Lights by Coldplay. Or would you like to listen to Thank God It's Christmas by Queen? It's a unanimous decision for the four cornerstones of rock, sending, according to Gus from Alt J's estimations, circa £30 to the estate of Freddie Mercury and the pockets of May, Taylor and Deacon. That was Nirvana on a Plane. You are listening to Radio X. It is Elis James and John Robbins here, live from London's Comedy Store. And we're going to take a quick second to go back into our royal box. Ellis, take over while I burp.
Oh, God.
All good, all good. Ed, how do you think the show's going so far?
I think it's going very well indeed, guys. You're doing a masterful job.
Thank you very much. Both yourself and ex-stand-in DJ James Acaster have a new podcast, don't you?
We do, thanks for bringing that up.
You're welcome.
It's called Off Menu. It's a food podcast where we interview a special guest every week and they tell us their dream meal.
They've now faded down your mic to stop you plugging your podcast. It's called Off Menu.
It is.
And how many episodes have you recorded?
We've recorded upwards of 11.
Wow.
3 have been released.
Oh. Has it changed your final meal/dream meal choices?
No, I'm still pretty solid in that.
And what is
insulin, for a starter.
I'm not sure that you've quite fully understood insulin, John. It's not an oral medication.
Is it not? But then you could maybe inject sort of beef. No, you couldn't. That's a terrible idea.
You're right, you couldn't inject beef.
No. Although it's not very sweet, so if you had to inject one thing, beef would be pretty high on the list, I imagine.
How did we end up here in this
And Ed, to your right is Barry Glendenning's friend who might take me on a tour of a crane because he works in construction.
The crane is actually just at the bottom of this road.
Is it really?
Yeah, I literally work 2 seconds away.
I wouldn't be, I'd be too scared of the heights, but describe the crane to me.
It's quite large. It's crane looking.
Yeah. Because last time we chatted, I was talking...
You decided to talk about anything but cranes to me, I think it was. So you wanted to know about piling and stuff like that.
Yeah, because well, I'd been staying in a Travelodge on our tour in Birmingham, and I'd been watching a building site for 2 hours. And I wanted to know what those machines were called that cut.
I actually went and found out the actual name. They're called munchers.
Good radio.
So basically, when you have steel-reinforced foundations, they dig around them, but then you're left with like a concrete and steel, like a tree trunk, and they have this special machine that goes around it. Yeah. But it basically sort of chops them off in sections. Fascinating to watch for 2 hours in Birmingham.
When John asked... sorry, what's your name?
Gav.
When John asked Gav to describe his crane, Ed Gamble actually put his head in his hands.
John, have you been to Diggerland?
Oh.
It's the best theme park in the world.
I think I'd be too scared to go in, but I'd like to watch from a Travelodge window. And behind Gav, we have, ladies and gentlemen, the lovely Robin. Hello.
This is what they do.
Yeah.
Their entire friendship's based on this.
And it was the lovely Robin's birthday yesterday. He has nearly there. He shares a birthday with Frank Zappa and Lockerbie. Because there was an awful lot of coverage about it because it's the anniversary. Very moving documentary on BBC. Sorry, that sort of sounded more contentious than I thought when I said that. I do apologise.
It's just a statement of fact.
Yeah.
And then you could have said Benjamin Disraeli.
Could have done. I should have gone for Disraeli. So, what do you got coming up on the show, Robin?
More of these.
That was a splice of Alan Partridge and David Brent there. So we can communicate entirely in Partridge and Brent quotes, sometimes for days.
Great to watch.
I'm enjoying this, it's good.
We went for a curry for your birthday, didn't we, Robin?
Yes, yeah.
And what did I do?
John ordered 3 prawn curries.
Broadly vegan.
Yeah, sorry. I shamed you.
No.
But you've got a vindaloo, just sort of a tasting vindaloo.
Yeah.
Just to cleanse the palate.
Anyway,
Why?
because it was only a couple of quid more than a side, so why not have another curry as a side?
Are you going into sumo?
But what are you going to be doing for us later, Robin?
What?
Sorry, basically, so I've started to sweat heavily because of my bad anniversary comment. I should like to apologise for again.
Are you saying what are we doing after the
Not
show?
me and you. Why are you here?
For the Keep It Session.
Yes, we're going to have a live Keep It Sessions.
Yeah.
So
lovely. Robin.
Lovely. It's very low key and there's not much testosterone with it, just to forewarn you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's going to be not a very testosterone heavy.
My favourite thing about John going into a shame spiral is that when this does happen periodically on the show, I never help him out.
No.
Why haven't I taken over? Why aren't I filling? But I won't. Could, but I won't.
So, for those of you who are listening live, you can download the podcast to hear the Keep It sessions every week. And for those of you in the room, you'll get to see a special live Keep It session, our first ever live one. Ellis, what are we listening to now?
We are going to listen to... Oh, here he is.
Here he comes.
Little old Jerry Cinnamon.
Little old Jerry Cinnamon.
It's got a very long intro, this song, so we can talk over it. Oh, Christmas is coming up.
Must be tricky for Jerry at this time of year with so much mulled wine going on.
Yeah, but he only drinks mulled wine sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a long intro.
Muse, Hysteria. You're listening to Radio X live from the Comedy Store. Now then, team, we're about to read up some... oh, my Goodness me. We're about to read out some emails, but we unfortunately haven't had time to prepare the jingle. So would everyone be able to do a live a cappella email of the species jingle, please? Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Email of the species is more deadlier than the male.
Rum pum pum pum. Yeah, thank you very much. Well done. Okay, so the ongoing saga of how to wipe your bottom continues. Quite remarkable, but this seems to be
It's going to run and run. Hear that, Comedy Store? That was improvised.
It's a topic that has split the nation. This is from Matt. He says, I have a friend who swears that wiping back to front absolutely changed his life.
What? Back to front? What?
Naturally,
but he would all know.
Naturally, me and another friend digested this nugget of information, questioning every facet of his argument.
His perineum must be a theatre of conflict.
I'm just going to believe that. His only retort was for us to try it just once. A few days later, my second friend, who had previously lambasted the wiping, proclaimed he had tried, and to my surprise, also claimed it was a game changer. That was 5 years ago. I still haven't tried back to front. I'm too scared.
We're going to try it live here. In front of 450 people at London's Comedy Store.
I'm not a person to judge others based on their life choices, and I'd like to think I'm an open and liberal guy. But I just can't do it. That's from Matt, and we've got quite a lot of communication about this. This is from Phil. Listening to the sitting versus standing Great Wipe debate a couple of weeks ago, I was reminded of a time in the 90s when my brother and I watched the film Arachnophobia. In it, there's a scene where one of the deadly spiders crawls into a toilet and lies in wait for an unsuspecting victim to sit down. We were petrified, and from this moment on, my brother and I became not only standing wipers, but standing toileters. I mean, can I just cut in there, Phil? If you're even going to consider venturing into the realm of standing toileting, you've got to be very sure of the consistency.
Yeah.
This act became
You
known...
need access to a paddling pool.
Yeah. This act became known as hoovering. And whilst not always practical, it eased any fears of attack by aggressive Venezuelan spiders, developed our thighs to rival those of Elis James, and meant that we were always confident when holidaying in France. Fantastic emails. I mean, you know, I would imagine some practices that the government would not endorse.
What?
Well, government
Have
health...
the state got involved in the way we wipe our bums,
Well,
John?
I think the problem is no one has as yet got involved.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I take it on myself to be minister in charge of bums. Anyway, you can keep your emails coming on Saturday at radiox.co.uk. Any other business, Mr. James?
No, I'm just absolutely... The whole standing up thing. I mean, I once weed into a pool stood up. But I was like 3, so that's fine. I wasn't, you know, I wasn't
like
unleashing...
that statue?
Yes, I look like a Greek god, but small.
No, the one of the boy in Belgium or wherever it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway.
We love art on this show.
Anyway, guys, we would like to thank you so much for joining us live on the air and live here at London's fashionable Comedy Store.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
It's been an absolute pleasure to broadcast here. We would also like to thank everyone at Global Radio and Radio X who has made it possible. The logistics, you won't be able to see over the radio, but we've got like a proper branded sort of station, and there are people who've been working since 8 a.m. this morning in order to make this happen.
I rocked up at about 10 to 1.
Yeah. So thank you so much to everyone who has helped out making this a very special show, and here's to 10 more.
Thank you for the humour, John.
Thank you for the humour, Elis. And,
it's like pantomime, isn't it? On the bum.
Oh, God. What an awful image. Awful business. Anyway.
There's a Paul McCartney album.
What?
Kisses on the Bottom.
Is it really?
Yeah. Yeah. But the Beatles were great.
So thank you so much to everyone who has listened, not only today, but over the past 250 shows. I will be back next week. Elis is taking a Christmas break because he's got a family. I'm pretty much at a loose end for the next 4 weeks, actually. I've got a pretty open schedule.
Yeah, so John will be doing all day on Christmas Day on Radio X. He's doing breakfast, mid-morning, lunch. He'll be live discussing the Queen's speech and then playing the Cortinas.
So, as we bid you farewell, coming up here in the room, we've got a live Keep It session that you'll be able to hear, hopefully, on the podcast. But right now, that's when I feel it. Richard Ashcroft.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you so much.
Radio X.